Hi, in this next video I'm going to show you how to break down a chicken. This is just going to be taking apart the chicken, cutting up the chicken, butchering the chicken if you will. I can understand if you're a vegetarian or you have some feelings about animals, it might be a little bit disturbing for you, but just keep in mind it's very economical to be able to break down your whole chicken. You know where all those pieces are coming from, and it's a good way to actually honor the life of the chicken by making sure all the parts are going to good use.
Before we cut into the chicken, generally what's done is called relaxing the chicken. This is just pulling on the joints, loosening them up. Sometimes when the chicken has been dead for a while, those joints tend to tighten up, so this just makes handling the chicken a lot easier. It's a lot easier to cut. And when you're done with that, you just want to lay the chicken flat on its back. You can tell the back is a little bit flatter. The breast side would be the top side that has a little bit more of a curve to it. And you just want to make sure your items are flat so they're stable. You just want to even out the skin. Our first cut is going to be the thigh. You first just want to cut lightly into the skin of the chicken. That's where the thigh meets the breast, or the body of the chicken. We do this just to expose the joint that's there, and it's going to make your experience a lot easier. So here you can see you have a clear distinction between the thigh and the breast. Next, what you want to do, you want to apply a little bit of pressure to those joints, and you're going to want to pop that joint. And as you can see here, the ball joint is exposed. You see that white piece there sticking out? And then you're just going to take your knife and you're just going to cut right through that joint. From here, you're just going to cut along the edge of the body. And just keep that knife as close as possible to the body while you're cutting. And the thigh comes off easy as that. Now you'll move on and you'll cut the other side the same way. Okay, our next cut is going to be removing the wings. This is going to be done pretty much the same way. You're going to pop that joint back. That's going to expose that joint. And you can use your fingers to find out where exactly that joint is. It's the joint closest to the body. And you're going to apply this might require a little bit more pressure. Just chop it straight down, and that wing comes right off. Then we're going to move on to the next one. So now we're left with these wings. These wings, they can be broken down further. Again, you just cut through the joint, just cut off those wing tips. The tips are good for stock. There's still a lot of flavor in those. There's still cartilage that makes a nice body to our broth. Can you just cut right down through the joint? So apply a little bit of pressure. People like to fry wings. There's not a lot of meat on them, so again, those can be thrown in the stock as well if you don't want to cook them. Next, where you can separate the thigh from the drumstick or the leg. This is done the same way. You feel for that joint there, and then just apply a little bit of pressure to the knife, straight down, and that's that. So next we're going to separate the breast from the body of the chicken. You want to even out that skin, and then you want to feel for the cartilage that runs down the center of the chicken. That's a nice division line. That's going to tell you where to put your knife. You're going to make your first cut just to the side of the cartilage. And you just want to cut a small incision there. And then you're going to cut down a little bit deeper, but make sure you keep that knife as close to the bone as possible. And then with your other hand, you're just going to gently peel back the meat from the breast. You'll find that like the meat will pretty much come right off as long as you have a nice sharp knife. You're not going to have to pull that much. Just make sure you're not cutting into your hand. And it comes off just like that. Okay, and then we'll do the next to the other side. Maybe this way you'll have a clearer line of sight to like what's actually going on. And you want to cut as close to the body as possible. That makes sure that every piece of chicken is taken off of the bone. That just leaves us with the breastplate and the backbone. If you do a good job, there shouldn't be too much meat left on there. This just generally goes to stock. There's a lot of cartilage here in the backbone. There's still some skin that adds flavor to our stock. Generally, you either cut into the backbone or you crack the backbone open to expose the marrow, as I'm demonstrating here. And you just put it into the stock pot just like that. That's where you add your vegetables, your kitchen scraps, what have you. And that's how you break down a chicken. Another common technique you might encounter is called the spatchcock. This involves cutting out the backbone either with a pair of scissors, which is very handy, or with a knife. And then you just forcibly press down on the breastplate, allowing the chicken to lie flat. This allows you to roast the whole chicken. This allows for more even cooking. This is good for roasting or for barbecue.